The spy genre is a tried-and-true mainstay, fueling major cinema franchises like the long-running James Bond series, as well as Jason Bourne and Mission Impossible alike. Examples in the TV space abound as well, ranging from fantastic series like 24, The Americans, Killing Eve, and Slow Horses, to the comedic Chuck or the ambitious budget burner Citadel. It makes sense why the genre is so perennially popular. Sexy, intelligent, and deadly people operating in gorgeous global locales and doing dangerous things against myriad dangerous foes is a recipe for almost any cool setup one can think of. But the other edge of that sword is that almost any cool thing has been thought of. How does one keep a spy yarn fresh? For the Copenhagen Test, Peacock's new Thomas Brandon spy thriller, adding a touch of sci-fi spice is the secret sauce, resulting in an engaging, twisty series with a fresh premise and some great combat and surprises to boot. What is the Copenhagen Test about? Alexander Hale is a first-generation Chinese-American working as an analyst for a mysterious covert intelligence agency called the Orphanage. He wants to move into field work, but there's a slight catch. He's been hacked with cutting-edge, controversial technology that transmits everything he sees and hears. Essentially, he's a walking, talking bug for a clandestine spy agency. While the Orphanage doesn't entirely trust that Hale didn't know he was an accidental mole, they opt to keep the hack open in the hopes of discerning who's responsible for inserting the technology into his head. It's a massive mystery that all started somehow when Alexander was administered the Copenhagen Test in the field, where he had to choose to evacuate an American woman named Michelle or a non-American child from a dangerous area. The operative, Michelle, is later assigned to be his handler/girlfriend in hopes of getting to the truth. Like any good spy series, the Copenhagen Test is a twisty world full of mysterious foes, conflicted allegiances, and clandestine operations. Featuring an espionage organization that watches other acronym-identified spy orgs adds some novel elements to a well-trod genre. It's further elevated by a near-future science fiction danger, given that nanobots transmitting one's sensory data to nefarious parties doesn't feel that far off in a world where every password becomes compromised. These elements are used to great effect, creating dynamics with other agencies and the rogue factions inside them that lead to twists crafted carefully enough to avoid serious confusion about the narrative. One final twist is resolved too quickly, but it successfully sets up an interesting potential series future. Regardless, it's a lot packed into mere minutes. The Copenhagen Test breaks intriguing new ground for spy television. Simu Liu shines as Hale, a character smart enough to be a strategist and analyst, but tough enough to tumble with baddies or headshot nefarious foes. Liu makes great use of his MCU experience, believably carrying high-octane fight sequences. He has great chemistry with Barrera, who adeptly handles Michelle's complex emotional landscape and good-natured company woman vibes. As a dancer and screen queen, she's also believable when it comes to the series' big action moments. Rounding out the cast, Brian Darcy James and Kathleen Chalfant embody a spy house's head honchos well, and Saul Rubinek is a welcome presence as longtime Hale confidant Victor Simonek. If the world is allowed to expand beyond the first season, he'll likely have a bigger role to play, which would be welcome. The series largely works, though some elements could be better utilized or more thoroughly drawn out. Hale's Chinese-American heritage adds pressure, given he feels as though he's already under heightened scrutiny, but it doesn't really figure into the meat of the narrative in a satisfying way. The same goes for Michelle's background, which is the reason she feels so locked into whatever the agency needs, but the audience would benefit from knowing more about her. Still, the show's narrative works as a whole in terms of both plot logic and entertainment value, and the characters are highly watchable, even if it would be nice to know certain aspects of their lives better. The Copenhagen Test is an engaging, entertaining spy thriller with a sci-fi edge. Liu serves as a strong lead for the series, boasting strong action chops and great chemistry with Barrera. The supporting players are equally engaging, and the overall world-building fleshes out the mysterious Orphanage amongst a host of other sneaky spy machinations working from the shadows.
There are areas where the series keeps the audience in the dark about its major characters, though that's a regularly troublesome tightrope for most spy films and series, which require secrets by their very nature. Altogether, the Copenhagen Test is a thrilling series that seeds just enough of a sci-fi element throughout for something truly fresh in the spy genre.